Hi, Misha here, and this is another Mishaco channel preview over on my personal channel here that you're at right now. This one. We're on vacation over at Mishaco, so we'll do a full video on this gun. Actually, there's going to be two guns in this video, but I just had to do something, because this is something that's been about 2.5 years in the making, in the coming. A Pelican case. Inside, and you know what it is because you've read the title. Something I've thought would be pretty neat to do for quite a while. It is a Swiss SIG, then SAN, now SIG again, SG553P pistol. And this is the short barrel version. But this is a very special edition. There are only 5 of these that have been imported, and probably only 5 will be imported. So what makes this unique? Well, a lot of it has to do with the serial number arrangement. It has SAG to make it clear that it's a semi-auto, but then the serial starts with an A. And as the paperwork says, A serial guns are reserved at the factory for the Swiss military. So effectively, this is a Swiss military STGW07, and since this is the SB, this is the 07K. And it comes with quite a few accessories. In fact, this kit comes with everything that they would ship to the military, because this is a military kit. This is a military gun, except for it's on a semi-auto only lower, and the upper was always a semi-auto pistol, at least at registry, because these guns were kind of caught before they were completed. They were basically contract overruns. Accessory wise, we have 2 cleaning kits. We have the standard kind of export cleaning kit here, and we have the slightly fancier Swiss Army cleaning kit that's not for export. We'll look at what's inside that in a bit. It's nothing earth-shattering, but it's there. Up here we have the original single point sling, and it is marked STGW04, which was the original version of this. So the military sling. Here we have 4 ladder covers in their own little compartment. Here we have a bag of tools and spare A2 type flash hider. Here we have 2 mags. Some of these can be the tab style, some can be the non-tab, but that's what they ship them from the factory, 2 mags. Above it we have a Swiss pattern mag loader for clips for the GP90 ammo, 5.6. Over here we have the standard, as I call them, smooth handguards, just regular 5.53 style. What's fun about these, to make a 5.53 handguard, they literally just take a 5.50 handguard and cut it in half. Here's just the plastic things are in. Over here we have a vertical grip from Brugger and Thomat, which is totally not something you should put on the gun because it's a pistol. And as for the gun itself, we have another Brugger and Thomat device here. This is their light. Pretty bright weapons light with a couple of modes. And it has an off switch. And then we have an aim point micro red dot. And we have a magnifier on QD mount. And that's it. If you were to SBR it, there is the cutout where a stock would also fit right in, no problem. This is a custom case for this, obviously. And it comes with a boatload of paperwork. It has a certificate of authenticity saying only 5 were imported. It also has all the manuals for the various accessories and diagram of parts and other such things. With that, let's look at the other member in this family. So I said 5 of those were imported. Well, there are also 5 of these. Some different variant. Here's the standard Swiss manual. Didn't show you that before. Same gun, same kit. Only real difference, for some reason this one comes with a little bore brush, or not bore brush, sorry, lens brush tool. Don't know why the SBs don't. It also comes with a blank fire adapter here. Screw onto the end for blank firing. Other than that, same. And the gun itself is the same, except this has a serial starting with SANA instead of SAGA, just to denote the difference, even though these are all still in the same serial range with each other. And this is the LB variant. And this would be, in the Swiss military, the STGW07, no K. And obviously the barrel is longer. And there are a few other differences. More to do with the intended roles of these guns than anything else. So yeah, 5 553P SBs and 5 553P LBs in limited edition STGW07 configuration with certificate of authenticity and all the appropriate military gobbledygook except full auto, and of course a stock, because these are imported as pistols. So yeah, there are a few other differences with that. Let's take these out of their cases and look at them a little closer on the table. Alright, we have the STGW07s out of their cases. And like I said, the major difference is the barrel length. In the back, they are both the traditional Swiss gray finish with the steel, not alloy lower, and they are marked SIG on the back. They have the Picatinny rail with flip-up backup sights, which are actually surprisingly decent for what they are. Front sight. Both have the quad rail. It's the synthetic handguard with the side and bottom rail. Bottom is metal. Side is metal too, I guess, yeah. This is the tabless mag, and this is the double mag with tabs. Of course, both are 5.56 NATO, or in Switzerland, as it's known, 5.6 GP90, meaning they have a 1 in 10 twist rate. So let's look at the LB. The STGW07 is used as a carbine in the Swiss Army. So they issue a couple per platoon squadron. You know, is either PDW or to be carried by company commanders, just to be something a little special and different from the standard STGW90 rifle. Like the 90 rifle, they have a single piece barrel, and by that means the flash hider is part of the barrel. It's not pinned on, it's physically machined as part of it. Like the 90, it has a grenade hump for rifle grenades. One thing that's not on it yet, but it will be when these get sold, is the bayonet lug. This has a long enough barrel for that. And the flash hider is internally threaded for this here blank fire device for training. Just screws in, pretty short thread run, again internally threaded. The barrel is cold hammer forged, not chrome lined though, that's not what they do over there, kind of like Finland. Including the flash hider, since it's physically part of it, and the little bit of threaded end, it's about 13.7 inches for the LB. Still has the standard short kind of commando length gas system, 2-position gas regulator, horizontal cocking handle so it can be used with the optic. But yeah, this is a carbine. If you think of the STGW90, the 550, as the rifle, like say an M16, this is their M4. It's a slightly shorter barrel, but the same concept. So it has basically the same features. And these are pretty widely issued. I mean, they're still a lot less common than the full rifle, but they're, you know, they're out there. But what about the short barrel? The STGW07K for Kurz is a Special Forces weapon. Its barrel is 8.9 inches, and it is a 2-piece barrel, meaning it has a removable flash hider. Early versions were threaded 14x1 left hand, so the same as a lot of Russian guns. More recent versions are threaded 1/2x28 right hand. Same length gas system, same rear. Here's our aim point, QD magnifier, all that good stuff. The major difference is this is meant to be suppressed. With the LB, there is a way to use the internal threads to suppress it, but it makes a very long and cumbersome package and not very effective. With the SB, you want that 8.9 inch barrel, so when you screw on a suppressor or click one on, you don't have an overly long gun. And this would not have a bayonet lug as standard. The gun comes with a birdcage flash hider as well as a 3-prong suppressor ready Surefire flash hider. It also has the 4-way rather than the 2-way gas regulator. It has the same standard 2 positions for normal fire and adverse, and then you can flip it over by pushing the plunger, and it has 2 special positions, one for a suppressor and one to totally shut the gas off if you want to run completely silent. And that's really the major difference. The LB is intended to be used as a carbine, so it takes bayonets and can launch grenades. Pretty much the same features in use as the rifle, just shorter and a little lighter. Whereas the SB, the K, is meant to be run in more urban environments by professional special forces in the Swiss military. And so it's meant to be called on for very specific roles. And far fewer of the STGW07Ks are in the military than the 07s. To make these pistols, they have the standard end plate put on. Basically what they do is they have a pin vertically pushed to, and then it's blind pinned with a small pin on the side. This complies with federal law. But it also means if you want to SBR or attach an arm brace adapter, you can do that quite easily without gunsmithing and messing up your very expensive gun. It's also worth noting this is on the lower, which is not the firearm. The upper on any of these guns, US or Swiss or even the old German made ones, the upper is the firearm. Let's flip these back over and talk about the markings. Or rather, why they're not row marked STGW07 or 07P for pistol. Well, there's a couple of reasons. One is simply import regs and whatnot. The 553P is approved for import with both barrel lengths. There's also a third barrel length that's an LB but has a removable flash hider, just so you know. It's considered a 11.9 inch barrel, not counting the flash hider. All guns have to have a name when they're imported, so you have to name it something. So why not STGW? For one, you'd have to get a whole other approval, even though the gun is still is the same. There's no internal mechanical differences. If you change the name, you gotta get a new import. That's just how it is. But the real reason not to even bother is in the Swiss military, while these are definitely designated the 07, 07K, that's only on paperwork. If you can get pictures of the military guns, they do not have STGW07 or SG553 or anything written on them. Swiss Army guns are devoid of markings. This goes back to the Schmidt-Rubin, the K31, the STGW57, and of course the STGW90. They just don't name their guns. They have a serial number, which starts with an A, and they have some very basic maker's marks. And that's it. And so, as far as markings, the only special feature of these is the fact that it does have an A prefixed serial, and that's because these were essentially contract overrun type guns that were never completed as select fire military guns, and so all the components were built up as US legal semi-auto onlys. And so they retain the A number to kind of acknowledge this. As far as the accessories, you do get quite a bit. You get 2 handguards, you get an optic, you get a magnifier, you get 2 magazines, 2 cleaning kits, a military sling, even if it's very complicated, several tools. You get the blank fire device for the LB, and you get 2 flash hiders for the SB. Bayonet lug for the LB, even though it's not installed yet. 4-position regulator for the SB. I'm just sitting here thinking, yeah, I mean, they're pretty equal as far as features. You get the flashlight. And you get lots of manuals, paperwork, and certificates. So all the extras, including the Pelican case, are worth something. There's no argument there. But they're not really worth the full value of what these go for. No, that has to do with the fact that these are the closest to a real Swiss military STGW07 that'll ever come in. And there's only 5 of each. and it took 2.5 years to get these in. So the chances of more coming are pretty unlikely. And while the STGW90, the 550, with its 20.8-inch barrel, is very iconic, actually, as time goes on, you will probably see more and more 553 types in the Swiss Army, because next year they have quite a large purchase order for them. So as more urban warfare comes into play, they might kind of transition away from their longer, heavier rifles, at least in some situations. Not all. This size has actually been in service since around 2004. The original SG552, the Commando, was adopted in both LB and SB versions, designated as the STGW04. And then when the 552 was updated to the 553 internals by SAN, Swiss Arms Neuhausen, the military updated most of their 04s, calling them the STGW04/07. But of course, fully new production 553 types in the military are just this, STGW07 and STGW07Ks. And so, yeah, also they're a lot of fun, and probably collectible at some level, anyway. And it's kind of neat that the SB is suppressor ready, but I have to admit, I am pretty partial to the LB. I love this long, sticky out barrel. And again, you can easily add on either a brace adapter for SIG SB Tactical, or if you want, you can file for a Form 1 and put on a buttstock after you get your letter back. It is up to you. Anyway, we'll do more with these on the main channel. Take one out to the range, talk about it, kind of compare it, but I had to do something right away, and so you're getting it here on the personal channel. So what do you think? I know at first it may be a little kind of underwhelming, but I think fully kitted out, it's pretty neat looking gun. And again, I love mil-spec stuff, so could just be me. With that, please like, share, and subscribe, and feel free to comment below. And if you like Swiss stuff, be sure to check out our main page over at Mishaco, where we've done a ton of Swiss videos. This is Misha. Catch you very soon. Next time.